Coming to you from behind the lines in Washington State, local and national talk, news, and opinions. This is the Behind the Line podcast. So I took a couple weeks off because I came down with COVID, the Delta variant, and didn't have to go to the hospital. It is not fun to have. High fever for a few days. The aches and pains are what really made it bad. If you're not on ibuprofen pretty much all the time, your legs and muscles will hurt so much that you can't really sit still, can't sleep. And I was congested pretty bad. My cough wasn't all that bad, but never really got into my lungs. So anyway, plenty of stuff has happened over the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to rehash a bunch of this garbage that's gone on. We are living in a insane asylum right now. I think everybody knows this, but what I want to talk about today is all of these calls for people who are unvaccinated. And I am unvaccinated, and I'm going to remain unvaccinated. But all these calls for the unvaccinated to have to pay more for medical insurance. And I just wonder, I can see this happening. It's just going to be the latest thing to use against people who refuse to take the shot. But I just wonder, if people have really thought about that and where that's going to lead. Because quite frankly, if you're going to charge people who don't get the shot more for medical insurance, then I think it's reasonable to say that all you fat people, and there's millions of you in this country, you should be paying more for medical insurance as well. Because being fat, being morbidly obese, which the majority of this country has gotten to that point. I think I read an article here recently that 70% of high school kids don't qualify for the military anymore because they're obese. Being obese, fat, causes all kinds of medical conditions that insurance has to pay out over the years. Diabetes being the main culprit I can think of. Diabetes is a terribly expensive disease to have, and a lot of people have that from being fat, from being overweight, for not taking care of for not eating healthy. And for the overwhelming majority of people, being fat is a choice. You choose to eat garbage. You choose not to exercise. You choose to be happy with your appearance, being fat. And meanwhile, the rest of us who pay for medical insurance are paying for all you fat people and all your medical conditions that come with being fat. So, you choose to be fat, then I think you should be paying more for your medical insurance because you're bound to have plenty of medical problems. Heart problems, diabetes, circulation problems, brain problems, arterial problems, all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems from being fat. So why aren't fat people paying more for their medical insurance? And if we want to go down that road also, then how about smokers? You smoke, you choose to smoke. Tell me that smoking doesn't cause all kinds of problems. Cancers, lung problems, breathing problems, very, very, very expensive medical problems that have to be dealt with if you smoke. So why aren't you paying more for your medical insurance? People who are on drugs. If you're a known drug user and you somehow have medical insurance that you do have to pay for, then you should be paying more too, because you choose to use substances that definitely harm your body, are proven to harm your body. They're poison. So if you're using illegal drugs, if you're a weed smoker, that's no different than smoking a cigarette. You're damaging your lungs. Then I think you should be paying more for your medical insurance. You people that are crying for all these things to be taken away from the unvaxxed, or extra fees to be charged to the unvaxxed, and all this stuff, you don't realize where this is going to end with the government, because they're just going to take whatever they can from whoever they can. And it may be people who refuse to take the shot right now, but eventually it's going to come around to something that you want to have, or some way that you want to live, and the government's going to end up telling you no. You can't continue down this road of allowing the government to have full control over every single thing we do. This is supposed to be a free country. We are supposed to have control over our own bodies. It's not right for the government to tell you you have to inject something into your body, something that ultimately is untested, and it's not like any other vaccine that's ever been created. It's an mRNA. No other vaccine is an mRNA. No other vaccine changes your cells the way this one does. And I think the jury is out on side effects and potential benefits versus just getting sick and getting over it yourself. And it's all you people with underlying medical conditions that are going to the hospitals and dying when you catch this. Maybe you should be paying more for medical insurance.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Behind the Line podcast. I hope you will subscribe to the channel so you can get regular updates. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, I hope you will also like it, share it, and subscribe on YouTube as well. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Spreaker. We're on various other podcast platforms. And you can find me on LinkedIn under John Washington. Again, thank you for listening. We appreciate your support.